DeepGenix Labs Private Limited is the company, and it's a predictive analysis predictive tool for the disease based upon the symptoms. So you enter the symptoms, and then the algorithm gives you the results, and it does the prediction.
Mm-hmm. So it's a conversational AI kind of the thing, right?
Yes. There is a deep learning in there. There is an engine that keeps on learning as you have more and more data and the information, because then the results that you want, the accuracy of the results. So if the accuracy of the result is say 90%, you have more and more data, and the engine learns. There's a deep learning there. There's artificial intelligence, and then it improves your results further. So the more and more data you feed into the engine, it improves upon the accuracy. So I'm sure Tarun, am I right in terms of technology?
Partially you are right. So I will talk about, when I will come in with my version, I will talk about how machine learning and artificial intelligence are different. So what you are talking about, it's not the deep learning, it's called artificial intelligence. So we have combination of the machine learning, at the same time the artificial intelligence. Now machine learning that learn from the past data, it doesn't learn from the future data. But artificial intelligence that learn from the future data. That's the beauty. So we have the gene combination of the machine learning, artificial intelligence. At the same time, we have computer vision technology for the skincare disease. So I'll be talking more about that. But let's start, Uday.
Yeah. I mean, we're waiting for Dr. Vinayak and Dr. Vijay to give a green signal.
Sure.
Aditi, madam.
Yes, sir. So, shall we start, sir?
Yes. But your video is still off.
Sir, now am I visible?
Yes, you are visible and audible now. So let us start on time. Yes. We will start now.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Yes,
sir. A very good morning to everyone present here. Honorable Chairman and Vice President Shri Satish D. Patil, sir. Respected Colonel S.K. Joshi, sir. Campus Director. Respected eminent speaker, Mr. Uday Zokarkar, sir, founder and CEO, Mantra Media Private Limited. And Mr. Tarun Datta, lead data scientist, Persistent Systems Limited, Pune. Dr. Vidya M. Vadai, sir, Principal DYPCOE Akurdi. Dr. P. Malti, Madam, Vice Principal DYPCOE Akurdi. Dr. Vijay Kotawar, sir, Vinayak Kotawar, sir, HOD Computer Engineering Department. Respected HODs and Deans, faculty members, and dear all participants. On behalf of DY Patil College of Engineering, Akurdi, I am Mrs. Aditi Kalia, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Engineering. Welcome you all for the Day 2 session of the 6 days refresher program on contemporary AI applications in healthcare, sponsored by AICTE-ISTE, organized by Department of Computer Engineering of Dr. D.Y. Patil Pratishthan, D.Y. Patil College of Engineering, Akurdi, Pune, for faculty members. Now, I request our principal, sir, present his valuable thoughts. Over to you, sir.
Good morning. Om Sahana Vatu Sahana Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahe Tejasvi Navadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahe. First of all, let me welcome wholeheartedly to Honorable Uday Zorkar sir and Mr. Datta, today's keynote speaker, and the guest. Along with that, I would like to also congratulate to Dr. Vinay Kotawar. He is very precise as far as starting the program on time. And sorry that we are late for 2 minutes, by 2 minutes. But because we were interacting something with the Dr. Uday sir, the CEO of the DYPCOE, and another company, he is the most innovative personality in the field of the healthcare. And I could see the passion and his real involvement into the uh, AI enabled business specifically, and being the techno managerial personality. So I salute to you. I will wholeheartedly welcome you, sir. We are very eager because all the participants are very eager to listen to you because the company people giving the insight about the technology, what has been already implemented into the market, where the market is going on, and what are the technological impact onto the various products, and what is going to make the change into the people's lives. So is it that the livelihood of the peoples will be enhanced, and they becomes the very comfortable. And all the research, innovations, development, everything, or the entrepreneurship, it is for the sake of the humanity and for the sake of making everybody's life easy. And that is why, who are the people, who are the contributor, the professor, who are the participants of this particular program? They are the real people who is going to make the change into the society. So, Uday sir, this is a faculty development program. So no students are involved into this one. All the eminent faculties, those who have been into the field of the research, innovations, development, and along with that intense academics that they are driving at their respective institutions, as this particular program has been enabled and supported by the All India Council of Technical Education. I am really indebted and thankful to the Honorable Chairman of the AICTE, Sri Sahasrabuddhe sir, and Amit Datta sir, and Pune ji, and the other authorities who are really after this particular initiative. Along with that, another great entity who is a national entity called as the ISTE. The ISTE council members were there to inaugurate this particular functions. Miss Nabi Madam and Mr. Sawant from the council member of the ISTE. They have really given the very good, nice insight about this AI-enabled systems as far as this healthcare is concerned. And because this particular program is monitored and governed and controlled by the AICTE, those people who will be really contributing into this ones by attending very seriously and try to give their complete time to understand and learn the various technology. And those who will be involved into, properly engaged into, they will get the certification. Because Dr. Vinay Kotawara has also mentioned that some learning outcome they have also to present, and some test is going to be there also. So it means that whatever the program, that schedule is there, the people are going to be very seriously attended, and ultimately that kind of the knowledge base which will be disseminated to their students appropriately, properly. So yesterday I have given the very 32 case studies into the healthcare as per the AI enabled. So today I don't want to take, today is your time. And again, on behalf of our, because this particular technological initiative and drives are given by Honorable Desh Patil sir. He is the chairman of this DYPCOE educational complex, and that's why to nurture the environment of research innovation and to work into the AI like field, because he is the minister of the information technology, and the revolutionary changes which is happening into all the IT sector because of the artificial intelligence and data science. And that is why contemporary AI, this particular topic which has been chosen by Dr. Vinay Kotawar is really apt, because he is the person since last year this Center of Excellence has been initiated into the computer engineering departments of AI and data science. Dr. Priti Patil was also there to share onto some of the in-depth understanding about this data science in her department since last 1 year. And that is why this particular program in AI data science of 120 in tech has been created in our DY Patil Educational Complex. And this is the very conscious drive that we are doing here. And I give all the best of luck to all the participants. They have to, very curious learner, and they have to very attentive learner. I know that their attention span is very high as compared to all the students, because they listen and then they are able to disseminate. Because unless and until we listen properly, are not able to disseminate it and deliver it properly. Because what to deliver is the question. This happens only when you listen properly. So, listening skill along with the speaking skill, this these are many. 80% role is played by listening skill, and that in DY Patil College of Engineering. I generally listen to the Aditi whenever she speaks. She speaks very apt, very proper, very careful. So this has been trained in the department. So I'm very happy that the technological people are taking this care and to make the changes in the life of the people. Now, I because I have to go for the another meeting, so that's why I seek your permission to please go ahead and proceed over to Aditi. Thank you very much.
हो ना शेवटी जॉईन झालं हे बघा
Thank you,
जयंत
sir.
शिंपित आता जॉईन होता
Thank you, sir, for always encouraging us with your inspirational words. Now, moving on, introduction of resource person. Today, sir, we are pleased to welcome Mr. Uday Zorkarkar, sir, founder and CEO, Mantra Media Private Limited, with more than 25 years of experience in media, marketing, and business professional, including print, radio, TV, and internet. Worked with established brands like Bharat Metropolitan Group and Mantra Magazine USA. Currently, sir is working on deep genic technology. Sir has many achievements and accomplishments, such as under his leadership, a team of 200 professionals got training, worked in various domains on building brands, strategy and implementation, networking with the industry professionals, and interaction with the professional associations. Sir has successfully handled the independent projects in the US while consulting Dish Network, EcoStar Communication on South Asian America TV platform. Sir has invited as guest speaker visiting faculty in B schools and by facilitate industry institute interaction. Sir having a many specialization areas in various domains, business aspects of internet businesses, new media, traditional media, branding and strategic marketing, consulting to startup business solutions and PR. Sir, expertise in international ethnic media, market and marketing solution. So once again, I welcome Mr. Uday Zokarkar, sir, to share their experiences by exploring the concept of innovating ideas and market opportunities in healthcare. So I welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor Aditi.
Over to you, sir. Yes, thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for your efforts and reading profile. Honorable Chairman, sir, here, Dr. Vijay Varai, for giving his, thoughts for setting the tone. Of course, Dr. Vinayak Kotawar for working for these many weeks on the idea and also discussing about this particular session. That shows the interest and what kind of information we want to share or we want to interact, because as Dr. Vijay Varai sir said that there are eminent professors over here, and delivering a lecture to professors is not good, because even while interacting with the students, I do mention that I'm not delivering a lecture. I'm trying to interact and with professors, with eminent professors and the teachers from India, making their presence felt in the international market worldwide. With our teacher Ranjit Disle, just a couple of days back, is something which is phenomenal, and that is the respect that I personally have for all the teachers. Right, my childhood, when it comes to eminent professors, it can only be an interaction or a course correction where somewhere, while interacting with, if you have to correct yourself, you have professors who can always come back and say, don't you think that it has to be A or B or C or A plus or B plus or C plus? And that's where the learning and the dialogue and takes the discussion to a different level, to a next level. Also, I want to add here that College of Engineering, DY Patil College of Engineering, Akurdi, Pune, and Dr. Vijay Varai sir have been interacting for quite some time on these topics. And, during the discussions where he said that, why don't we interact on this platform where there are eminent professors across India. So with that small backgrounder and appreciating the efforts of all, Professor Aditi for coordinating, which is not an easy job. I mean, it's like, she is interacting even late in the evening for fine tuning certain things. So I really appreciate. Thank you so much for giving me and Tarun Datta an opportunity. And while discussing with Dr. Vinayak Kothawar, what we said is like, as Aditi very rightly said, Professor Aditi very rightly said, the idea, the innovation, taking it to a market or the market opportunities. If I discuss that, then the technology part or the complex algorithms or the AI or the machine learning part will be taken by Tarun. And while interacting in the morning when Tarun was there, I think you got a glimpse of what Tarun is. He breathes technology, uh, healthcare, a lot of ideas, and a professional who must be thinking coding even while driving, which is not good. We say don't drink and drive. I mean, I need to tell Tarun that don't code and drive, because in his mind, Vijay Vadai said when he was putting his thoughts across, that is it going to impact market? Is it going to impact someone, or is it going to make a difference? And therefore, I personally feel, uh, and I'm convinced that an idea, has to solve a problem. And if there is a problem and you have a good idea that can solve that problem, is something great. Now, either you are solving a problem or there is a challenge and you are addressing that challenge. But while doing that, I personally believe it is the simplification of the technology, and it is not the complexity. The complexity can be at the back end, which is Tarun Datta's field. So you may have complex algorithms. You may write, Python, which is a very sophisticated language, the codes. But when it comes to front end, you simplify it. So it is the simplification of the technology. It is the simplification of the usage, and it is the simplification for the end user that we are addressing his or her problem. So when we look at the market in India, there are challenges across, and when there are challenges across, there are humongous opportunities. These opportunities can be exploited or can be put to our benefit by taking the ideas to the market. And in that context, I'm going to talk about Deep Gen X, what Deep Gen X is. However, for setting the tone, there is something which, and we have all the eminent professors, and there are so many students that they are, working with you. Dr. Vinayak Kothawar himself is, leading, the innovation and the incubation center in the computer engineering department. Something very interesting while interacting with many other innovators or taking the ideas to the market. What my learning has been and what my learning is that, which I thought I must share, is the pace at which the change is happening is very rapid. So if the market is moving with a faster pace, and if you have an idea and you want to take this idea to the market, you don't have much time. And therefore, typically, when I interact with my colleagues or when I interact, in my earlier organization, or when I'm interacting with the, startups, I tell them one thing, that apan Taj Mahal baad mein banayenge. Don't try to make a Taj Mahal. Apan Taj Mahal baad mein banayenge. We have to start. We have to take our idea. We have to implement our idea at some level, small level, medium level, at some level. That is what is called is MVP. It's a jargon, but to simplify it, minimum viable product. Now, the students may be working on the idea, and we are trying to perfect, our solution. And in perfecting the solution, if we are taking a longer period of time, then somebody else might take, not the same idea, similar kind of idea to the market and be successful. And therefore, it is extremely, extremely important that at what pace are you going to bring
ऐका ना,
in?
मी तुम्हाला
Therefore, we
लिंक
do
पाठवली
see
आहे, त्याला
the
जॉईन
version
करून
1,
ठेवा.
version 2,
तुम्ही ऐकत
version
जरी
3,
नसेल ना,
version 4,
तरी पण
version
जॉईन
5.
राहा त्याला.
Why do we see these versions? Because if you have an idea and
हो
if you
हो,
have a
करू ना.
product,
हे
you convert
बोलले
it into a product
श्रद्धा
which
मॅडमने
is
केलं
going to
म्हणे,
solve
आम्ही
a
शांती मॅडमला
problem.
बोललो.
That's an
तर
opportunity,
शांती मॅडम म्हणे की मी एचओडी
solve a
सरला बोलते,
challenge, or
मेसेज
there is
करा
a
असं त्यांना
barrier and
सांगितलं.
your solution is
तुम्ही
going
दोघींनी
to
रजिस्टर
break
केलं
that
आहे,
barrier.
तर त्यांना
Then
सांगा
take
म्हणे
it
की
fast to the market.
रोज म्हणजे
When you take
कंपल्सरी
it
अटेंड
fast to the
करावं,
market, what do you keep
कारण
in
त्याच्यात
mind? You
कंपल्सरी
keep in mind
अटेंडन्स
that
आहे.
there is a minimum viable
करून
product
आणि
that you
श्रद्धा
take
मॅडमला
it to the
सांगा ना,
market,
त्यांचा
and you
कॉल
can
नाही तर
always
उचलत
work
नाही, मी
on
लावला
the
तेव्हा.
next versions because you're getting a lot of
आणि
insights
ऐका ना,
from the
त्याची
market.
पण एक
And
व्हॉट्सअप
that is
ग्रुप
what
आहे,
the thought process
मी
at
तुम्हाला लिंक
DeepGenix we
पाठवते,
have.
ती तुम्ही जॉईन करून घ्या.
DeepGenix,
म्हणजे त्याच्या पुढचे इन्स्ट्रक्शन येत
I'll
राहतील.
explain what it is, but coming back to this particular
रोजचे आहे,
thought
पण
process
कोणी ना कोणी
of
करतो ना, आम्ही एकमेकाला
taking
शेअर
that
करून
minimum
घेतो.
viable product to the market at the rapid pace is
ते होऊन जाते मॅडम,
extremely
त्याचं टेन्शन
important,
नका.
be it students
ते
or
होऊन
we are
जाते,
working
त्यासाठी
on the
विचार.
labs, because ideas are not
ओके,
monopolies.
चालेल. फक्त ते लिंक कंपल्सरी
If we
जॉईन करा.
take a longer period of time, our idea is not our monopoly. Someone else
मी
is
कोणत्याही
also
मोमेंटला
working
अटेंडन्स
somewhere
घेते.
around the world. And therefore, while building Bharat Matrimony, we always used to say that we are in a permanent
चालेल.
beta.
हो हो, चालेल.
Permanent beta. Beta is the
तुम्ही
word that
अटेंड
you
करा,
use
नका करू, त्याला
where
चालू ठेवा
before
फक्त.
launching a
कशावरही, कोणत्याही
particular
मशीनवर.
product or a website or taking it to the market, you say that it's a
Okay,
beta, which is a testing phase.
Bye.
But we always used to say that we are always in a beta phase. And something very interesting, the founder of LinkedIn said that for life in permanent beta, the trick is to never stop starting. The trick is to never stop starting. The startup is you. So doesn't matter, what age, doesn't matter who we are, doesn't matter where we are. Professor Ranjit, our teacher Ranjit Desle, who got the award at the International Forum, he did not invent QR code. And I was listening to his interview. What he did, he brought QR code to the books. What he did, he got QR code for his students where they can scan the QR code and download the content and digital content, which is something phenomenal, which is something interesting. There is another, point that he made is like the way we are interacting right now using a digital platform. He said that the education is more of an edutainment, which means education and entertainment. We are trying to entertain the students, while educating them, and therefore the engagement goes up. So something interesting that he shared, but again, coming back to our topic of discussion is taking the idea to the market, keeping in mind certain basics. There is an opportunity. When there is a problem, you're looking for a solution, a simplified solution, an easy solution. For what? For making the life convenient or comfort, or using complex algorithms and technologies at the back end, but at the front end simplifying it. With that in mind, the team that is working on DeepGenix. What is DeepGenix? DeepGenix is a predictive tool. It's an app you can download from the Google Store. If you type DeepGenix, GENIX, you can download it. What DeepGenix does, you give your symptoms, you enter your symptoms in the app, and there is a predictive tool. Based upon the symptoms that you are giving, that you are inputting, you get an output which predicts the disease that you may be having. And it predicts to the degree, the severity, 70%, 80%, 90% severity. And when we tested this, our results are 90% plus accurate. Now, this is something phenomenal. But this is a product. And I'm sure, like this, there are many products and there are many ideas are being discussed in the lab. Now, if this is the idea, if this is a product, if this is an app, which is a product, which is a service, where you have some certain symptoms sitting at home, using your phone, if you input your symptoms, it keeps on asking you questions based upon your answers. So the next set of questions depend upon what your previous answer is. The end result is you get a prediction, a disease on the severity, that what disease you might be having. Now, if this is the idea, what business you want to make out of it? How do you look at the market? What is the way of looking at market? And as I said, the technology part will be discussed by Tarun. I'm talking about more about this particular idea, and like that, there are many more ideas which maybe I'll touch upon. But here, since it is healthcare, we are focusing ourselves onto Deep Genix and the Deep Genix app. So when you look at the market, and when we started looking at the market, what did we say? That if you look at the behavior of the market, then if I'm having a headache, or if I'm having a problem, or if I'm having certain symptoms, my first reaction is not to call a doctor. We don't do that. You look around, and what do? If we have a if we have someone in the family who understands that based upon these symptoms, what has been done, depending upon who you have in the family, the grandmother or the grandfather or the father or the parents or uncle or aunts, whoever, they start telling you, okay, you are having a headache, and they are giving you a remedy, which means the first reaction is not to call a doctor. And there are many reasons. So one of the reasons could be fear. Hey, if I call a doctor and if doctor calls me, I don't know what problem I am having. I don't know what doctor is going to tell me. So therefore, with that fear, our first reaction is not to call a doctor. So what do we do? What do we do now? I mean, for everything we go to Google and we start Googling it. You go to Google, and any symptoms you put in the Google, what Google does, Google is not a predictive tool. What Google is doing is, based upon whatever input data that you're giving and whatever the information is available, Google is trying to throw a search results. And mostly, in many cases, when you give any kind of inputs to Google for the search, it ends up somewhere telling you hello. Yeah, sorry. I think I lost the connectivity, but no, it was some other problem. So can you hear me? I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Because this is again, technology thing, and I thought that I lost the connectivity. So I was talking about the results that you get. Mostly, it might end up telling you that this is a cancer, or you have a cancerous kind of a scenario, or the symptoms that you are giving. Now, that's a challenge. In fact, for everything we look at Google, and we go and look for solutions on Google. There is a doctor here in Pune, and Pune is known for such kind of notices, whether it's on the door or it's anywhere. So in Pune, one of the clinics have a big poster at the reception area, and it says that if you have already checked Google for the problems that you have, and if you have come for the second opinion, then there is Yahoo. So go to Yahoo. I mean, don't come to a clinic, because what happens is, when we are going to a doctor, we already searched and we already read so much, searching on Google, and then when we go to doctor, we start asking, and we start asking so many questions, and also start giving the solution that, yeah, but I checked on Google, and Google is telling me that this is likely to be a problem. The point I'm making over here is that between the Google and the doctor, there is a time lag. Because when you go to Google, you enter your symptoms, and if you are likely to see all results as cancer, most of the cases, or some complication, because Google is not predicting, Google is just giving you a search results based upon the information that is available. Between Google and doctor, there is a time lag. Between Google and doctor, there is fear. Between Google and doctor is, should I make a call to a doctor, yes or no? So between Google and doctor, there is an opportunity. We saw an opportunity. What is the opportunity between Google and doctor is that you have power in your hand. This is a predictive tool based upon your symptoms for the disease. You input the information. When you input the information, it asks you questions based upon your answers, and within few seconds, it predicts that you are likely to have this disease, and the severity is 70%, 80%, 40%, 50%, 60%, 90%. Now, what it does is it makes it something, it makes the whole process something very private. You search on Google, it is private because nobody is looking at you, nobody is watching you. You make a call to someone, to your friends and family, you have to give the symptoms, what problem you are having. When you call a doctor, of course, you have to a doctor or to a lawyer, you have to give all the information, or to a chartered accountant, you're giving all the information. So in front of doctor, you are telling everything. But then, because there is a time lag, this is of the power in the hand. So what it does is it takes away that fear of, oh my God, I don't know what it is, but something that you can, check, downloading the app, and you can see the severity. And if the app says, if the predictive tool, the DeepGenix predictive tool says that severity is 80%, you must visit a doctor. You also know the urgency. So you know that, okay, I need to meet with the doctor in a day or two, and you don't prolong it. So you don't reach out very late to a doctor. And therefore, this is solving a problem, giving the power in your hand. And also, it is breaking all the barriers, because it doesn't matter whether you are in A class town or a B class town or a C class town, as long as you have a data and as long as you have a smartphone, you have a power in your hand, and you can actually, check based upon your symptoms that what problem you are having. So, as Dr. Vijay Vadai sir said, that what impact it is going to make, at different level, or maybe a grassroots level. And here, where there are no doctors available at the moment, you want to check, you can immediately go and check. When you know on the severity, you know how it is, you decide, to reach out to a doctor. So there is an opportunity. We saw the opportunity there, and now from here, how do you build a business? What do you do? How it is a minimum viable product, and what happens? How do you make revenue? So at the app, we created. I mean, of course, Tarun and strong team of technology. First, created algorithms. We created the app, and we went into a testing phase. We started testing, and we had about 150 downloads. Somewhere in the month of April, around first and second week of April, worldwide, we saw that healthcare is going to change now. There is a telehealth, and therefore the technology and medicine is already going hand in hand, and there are a lot of technologies that are at work when it comes to healthcare. But never before this kind of opportunity came, where while interacting with some of the friends or clients in the US, even the physiotherapy is looking at technology using it, technology platforms using it, because it's not possible for a doctor to even give the treatment in physiotherapy, which is more like a one-on-one. How technology can be used to give the physiotherapy. So even to that extent, I'm talking about that. To that extent, the technology is working, and to that extent, and the innovations are happening right now as we speak. So telehealth is already a multi-billion-dollar industry. Coming back to DeepGenix, where did we see the opportunity, and where is the opportunity for us? So we got about 100, 200, 300 downloads, and somewhere in the middle of April, we decided that, okay, we want to go to the market, and we want to now penetrate the market and get more number of people using it. While doing that, we also kept in mind that where we can build the revenue, where we can build a business model. So you have an idea. That idea, you want to take it to the market. You can't take a lot of time in order to convert that idea into a product. And even if you have converted to a product, you cannot take a lot of time. And therefore, there has to be a minimum viable product that can be experimented, or that can be used as a pilot at a local level. And that is what we did. And when we did that, then we started working, for more and more number of downloads. As we speak today, between April, 15th of April and 31st of October, we have about 50,000 downloads, 50,000 downloads. So of course, we used the digital marketing tools for the downloads, etc. But then these are number of downloads, because we also wanted the idea to get weighted from the market, that there are downloads and the results are useful. So I was talking about the idea. You're having an idea, a minimum viable product, taking it to a market. Now, what is the revenue model? What is the business model? You have to think about the revenue or business model also.
असं
Not
नाहीये सर, रोजच
necessarily
काढते नाही
when you are working on the idea, you will have in mind the business
Active
model or
म्हणजे काय?
revenue model. Google did not have a revenue model. Google did not have a business model earlier. There was no revenue for Google. As people started, as the market started using more and more Google, we are even talking about Google glasses. So in the initial days, there was no revenue model for Google. So the revenue model may come to your mind a little later, but as long as the idea is solving a problem and more people are using it and they are finding it simple, it's easy, it's convenient, you are having a breakthrough. And once you start penetrating the market, the revenue or a model or a business model or the revenue idea may appear or may come from the market itself. And therefore, I'm saying you may have a revenue model at the beginning, or you may not have a revenue model, but then revenue model may come into the play as you start working and as you start taking your product or service, penetrating the market. So with 5,000 downloads, with 10,000 downloads, the moment we reached that particular number, we said that we have an opportunity and we have a business opportunity, because there are more and more users who are using it. So if you have users with you, that's like, if I relate it with a newspaper, that if you have readers with you, or if I relate with a television, that if you have viewers with you, or if I relate to a FM station, that if you have listeners with you, you can have a revenue model, because your users or your readers or your viewers or your listeners are the consumers to someone, and these are the consumers or the customers, which is your audiences, are into buying products and services. So they are the consumers, the customers. So once you have that set, then you look at what is my offering and where is an opportunity for me for a business model or a revenue model, which is win-win. And with that win-win, the moment you work on a business model, there is an excellent book called Business Model Generation, and I'm forgetting the name of the author, but it's a fantastic book. And if I just digress slightly, then look at the business model and the revenue model of Ola and Uber. When Uber idea came to the market, I mean, who thought? Uber called themselves a technology company. They don't call it a transportation company. And when they started, they didn't own any cars. So being a technology company, Uber, what it is doing, it is solving a problem. And when they are solving a problem, they got the revenue model, they got a business model, and they got the revenue model. And they got the revenue model which really worked. And who thought that in India, you will be able to even organize the auto rickshaw guys? And the moment you started organizing auto rickshaw guys with Ola and Uber Auto, what happened? It made an impact to everyone. Earlier, there was a fear that Ola and Uber will take away, the auto rickshaw business or the cab business. But then it generated more and more employment, and they call themselves a technology company. And the model, some kind of a revenue model or a business model came into place, which is something very, very interesting. And they are a technology company. So for DJoinix, coming back, I just gave a parallel example that from where the business model, the revenue model, may come. But thinking about that there is some cab or there is some auto waiting for a customer and waiting for half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, and just about 300 meters, 400 meters away or 100 meters away, there is a customer, there is a passenger who's waiting for an auto rickshaw, desperately looking for an auto rickshaw or a cab, and he's not getting a cab for 1 hour or an auto rickshaw for 1 hour. What it is doing is it is bringing them together using a technology, using an app, and creating a business model. It's a win-win. It's a win-win. The cabbie is waiting without any customer, and I'm waiting for a cab. It's a win-win. So here, when you have a user at DeepGenix, when you have a user, and when we look at, you go to Google for search based upon your symptoms, searching what disease I'm having to a doctor. If we are addressing between the Google and the doctor, we have huge opportunity. We have a huge opportunity for the market. And what are our opportunities? We started thinking and we started looking at that. What if a pathology lab gets this information, and if we tell the person, so if I have just searched on the DeepGenix app based upon my symptom, and it says that, okay, I'm likely to have certain problems, the severity is this much, and the nearest available doctor, I mean, now you're looking at e-commerce, you start building e-commerce, the nearest available doctor are 5, and we recommend, or we suggest, if not recommending, there are 5 doctors, those who are there in your vicinity, in your area, based upon whatever the symptoms are. So if I'm having a stomach ache, or if I'm having a skin problem, as Tarun initially was talking about, like we have something called skin. I'll talk about little bit on that, and then I'll leave it up to Tarun. But then you have doctors empaneled, where we say a doctor near you is available, a path lab near you is available. Even this information is extremely important for a health insurance company. And also something, when we looked at the user data, when 50,000 users are using our app across India, and when we looked at the user data, that what are the diseases that are there, because there are a lot of analytics that are available now. 50,000 users, when they are using it, this data, this information, or this analytics is extremely important and useful to a pharma company. So when we started looking, one analytic or one data point that I remember, where Tarun came back and says that during complete lockdown time period, hey, the constipation, the number of people, those who are diagnosed with constipation, has gone up, because your habits have changed, because your food habits have changed. It's a complete lockdown scenario. So it is a very useful data to a pharmaceutical company. It is also very useful data for using for preventive medicine. It's also very useful data for immunity building. So you can now, I mean, when you look at the data, when you look at the analytics, what the users are doing, and when you have 50,000 users for the app, you suddenly find a market opportunity, which is even a pharmaceutical company. For a pharmaceutical company, this is a very valuable data. So where do we see the market? Where do we see the opportunity for an e-commerce market? That the moment you start giving your symptoms in the app, in the tool, and when you get the results, the moment it ends at results, we can give, because now we have information, we can give a lot of information about whatever the disease that we have predicted, about the immunity or the precautions or the prevention or the preventive areas of medicine that can be shared with you. B, we can suggest that the doctors that are available nearby, so you can fix up the appointment with the doctor using the app, using the e-commerce. You can also show the medical stores that are available nearby. You can also show the pathology labs that are available nearby. For a pathology lab, for a doctor, for a medical shop, it's a customer, it's a prospective customer. For you, it's a convenience. It's a huge convenience that it is telling you there are 5 doctors in this particular vicinity where you can visit. You can go to your own doctor as well, but it is just making the life easy. It's just making it convenient. And also, this is a phenomenal information for a pharma company to look at the trends. Imagine then if you have a 1 million and a 5 million and a 10 million downloads, and people are having this power in their hand, and you're churning a lot of data for a pharmaceutical company. Which part of region, which part of India which geographic region, because now you can slice and dice the data and you make a lot of inferences out of it. So for a pharmaceutical company also, this is a very, very valuable data. It's a win-win situation for DeepGenix as a product, for a doctor, or for a medical shop,
ते
for
लिस्ट
a
मला
pet
मेल
lab,
करून द्या. किती लोक आले आता?
or for a pharma company. Now, this is a minimum viable product that we started with. Of course, we have a roadmap, and you need to have a roadmap. But as I said, if you try and build Taj Mahal, it is going to take ages. Don't look at that. Approach the market, go to the market. You will have a lot of learning.
किती आहे
And
म्हटलं?
therefore, as a second phase, just about a month
हा ठीक आहे ना,
back,
मला मेल करून द्या सर.
what Tarun initially was discussing, uh, when we were discussing with Dr. Vijay Vada, is that this is a skin disease. So, and then whatever the technology, whatever the complex technology we are using at the back end that Tarun will discuss, but at the front end, it is a simplification of the technology and usage. What you have to do is, you have a smartphone, take a picture of the area, the skin disease that you're having, take a picture and upload it. Upload it to the app. When you upload it to the app, it runs at the back end through complex algorithms based upon the technology, and it predicts, it tells you what it is likely to be. So that's the second phase. And as the name says, DeepGenix, when we look at the roadmap, genome worldwide is big. Genome in US is already multi-billion dollar
सर तुम्ही काय केलं होतं
investments
ते
that are
कशा
happening.
निघाली लिस्ट?
As the name suggests, DeepGenix, it's a predictive tool. When the genome sequencing, the genome mapping, when it becomes cheaper right now, I mean, when it started with $50,000, $100,000. Now they've brought it to $50,000 from.
If you go for the biopsy, it takes the cancer gene, and then it find out the combinations of the different proteins. And then if you find there is some problem in the protein, you call this is an error. And okay, now you got the error, but how do you know that's a cancer? That's there you have to apply a machine learning, a predictive modeling. What is predictive modeling? Now here, often people the mistakes by applying the machine learning and artificial intelligence word at the same time, or both are different. Machine learning that completely learn from your past data, from your statistical data. And when it comes to artificial intelligence, it learns from the future data. Let me give an example. When I was a child and I did something good, then my father claps his hand. For example, I just try to pretend my father, and then I try to stand up on my leg. My father saw it and he was very happy that I am standing on my leg. And then he clapped. That means what I thought, whatever I am doing, that is good. So my father gave me a reward to me, that you have stand up on your leg, I am giving a reward to you. Now this is called your positive feedback. When your artificial intelligence model is getting positive feedback, it learns that this is the right approach I am going, this is the right way I am going. But if I did something wrong, my father came to me and slapped. That means I learned this is wrong something. So I got a negative reward. Now you have to also see there that how much reward have to give to the baby. So I just stand up when I was a baby, I just stand up on my leg. You should not, being a father, you should not offer me a car. I would not understand. If you say, oh, I'm happy, I'm very happy, I'm gifting you a car, I would not be very happy then. Maybe you can give me a reward of a chocolate. Now this rewarding things, how much reward you want to give, that you have to do a profiling. when you are designing this artificial intelligence model. So this profiling is a very complex thing, and you have to work a lot to give the profiling. And now again, I'm coming back to the deep genetics, the physiological study, what we are doing right now. So you have to give some symptoms, and on the base of the symptoms, it does a predictions. Now again, uh, which symptoms you are giving first and which symptoms you are giving second, that also vary while predicting what disease you have. Because what's happened when you go to a doctor, you generally say the topmost symptoms which are giving you a lot of pains to you, and the symptom which you don't remember. Why you don't remember? Because maybe the symptoms are not very much prominent to you, so that you tell at the later stage when doctor asks you some other questions. So on the base of when you are giving the symptoms, the prediction result also changed. At the same time, I said this is machine learning model. Why machine learning model? Because it is learning from the past data. I have feeded a lot of data into the model, and this data is nothing but the symptoms and the disease. At the same time, there are other biological data you should give. What is biological data? Age is one of the biological data. Then gender is one of the biological data. Blood group is one of the biological data you have to give. Then there might be the family history, maybe whether you have diabetes or not, whether you have blood pressure or not. These kind of data you have to feed. So one setup is that biological data. Second is the symptoms. Now another thing which I'm missing right now, that's called your lifestyle data. What exactly you do in your daily life, that is one of the most reason of a lot of disease. So you will find that a lot of people, they sleep up to 12 o'clock afternoon, and then they again go for sleep very late night. So they have a different lifestyle. Somebody does night shift, somebody does UK shift. They have a different lifestyle. Somebody's fooding pattern is something different. They consume a lot of alcohol. Somebody they consume a lot of cigarettes. These things are coming. These things are part of your lifestyle. This data also you have to feed into the engine. So there is now three things. One is that you have your biological data. Second is that you have your lifestyle data, and then you are giving symptoms. Now, while you are giving, I am predicting that okay, you have written there, you mentioned there you have breathing problem. You have mentioned there you have chest in pain. You have mentioned that you are getting tired while you are doing the exercise. Then okay, I would say you might have a hole in your heart. Might be there is a hole in your heart. That's why when you are doing the exercise, then your blood is going from one chamber to another chamber. Your heart is pumping, shrinking and then pumping each chambers. So, but now thing is that you have these healthcare records. So he is doing testing for one time, he is doing testing for two times, and when he is testing a lot of disease in the past 1 year, the past 2 years, and doctor has a record that in past 2 years what are the phase. And doctor also predict, and there will be a machine learning engine which can predict. Okay, he has some problem with the constipation. He has some problem with the liver. He has some problem with the kidney. What is the probability that he will have a problem with the lungs? These kind of predictions done by your machine learning engine. Now, how to learn the machine learning? Now, thing is that sometimes we also mix with the statistical modeling and the machine learning. It's very much similar what statistical modeling and machine learning is, but machine learning is more about to the applied thing. Statistical model is more about your theoretical things. But behind the machine learning model, definitely there is a statistics. Without statistics, there is nothing. So if you want to be very, very good into the data science, into the machine learning, into the artificial intelligence, your statistics has to be have very, very strong. At the same time, whatever you have learned in your class 10, 11, 12, like calculus, then maybe different kind of expressions, different kind of series like Fourier series. Those knowledge will require here while you are working with the data. Now, so once you have this statistical knowledge, then you are applying a machine learning things. Now, what are the things you use in the machine learning? First thing is the data. The data could be the structured data could be the
सर ते
unstructured
काहीच
data.
प्रेझेंट पण करत नाही ना.
When you talk about the structured data, it's nothing but the numerical data. Now, in healthcare, it's very rare
Sir?
that you will get a numerical data. Yes, you will get when you are analyzing with the pathological data. It's a numerical completely. When you have a numerical data, it's very easy to pick an algorithm, and then you can do a lot of things. So, how to pick an algorithm, again, that's a different story, because there are a lot of algorithms are there. You can go for the logistic regression, for the classification task. You can go for the decision tree. You can go for the random forest. You can go for the neural network. You can go for support vector machine. You can go for k nearest neighbor. You can go for Napier's theorem. You can go for the convolutional neural network. You can go for the conditional random field. So you can go for any ensembling model. You can go for boosting methods. So there are a lot of methods are there. How to choose what method that you are going to apply for your machine learning model, that's another tricks, and that comes from the experience while you are dealing with the data. So if you the first learning what we do when we go for any statistical learning, the variance. How much your data vary? What is the variance of the data? From the variance of the data, you learn a lot of things, and then accordingly you apply which model I need to do, which model I should apply for the particular task, whether I would apply logistic regression or whether I should apply random forest. That depends upon the variance of the data. At the same time, you have to know how to deal with the missing values. While you have the data, you will have a lot of missing values. A lot of patients, they will not give you the some sort of data. They will give partial data, and partial data will be missing. You will not find the data. Maybe you will find the people they are giving the wrong data as well. So when this kind of anomaly comes, then you have to detect the anomaly. Now, for the anomaly detections, or we call also novelty detections, you have different algorithms to use there. Maybe you can apply the isolation forest. You can apply the box plot. Maybe you can apply the Prashant Chandra Mahalanobis formula. So there are a lot of formulas are there, lot of algorithms are there by which you can remove the outlier values. So once you deal with this data, then you have to go for your machine learning predictions. And once the prediction is done, then you are going for the next things that you have to build the pipeline. Now, while we are studying, it's completely different. But while you are working with the productions, it's completely different again. Why? Because in production, you have to work with the pipeline things as well. That from where you are consuming the data, where you are storing the data, what language you are writing, then again where the result is going, then again how the UI, the user interface they are consuming, and who is designing this UI. There are a lot of things are there. So you have to design this pipeline as well. In the pipeline, you have to have some sort of knowledge in the database. I use generally the SQL Server. At the same time, I also use MongoDB. If somebody is working with the connecting things, they can work for the graph database like Neo4j. If you're working, and then when it comes to language, uh, you can use Python, you can use R language. There is no barrier, but I always prefer Python. Why? Because Python has a lot of APIs which you cannot find with the R. API means you want to connect with different mediums. So Python is much more easier than R in that case, but it depends upon the problem statement what you are doing exactly. And then once you have done, again you have to store the result. Once you store the result, then the UI people will consume the result. what you are storing. It is the entire pipeline. You have to know this pipeline while you are designing this thing. I'll be more talk about now on the skin things, what we have designed in deep genome. Now, skin, uh, which is something, is not the symptoms. You can say that I have this irritation symptom, I have these blisters. But if you tell a dermatologist doctor, if you tell a derma doctor that I have these symptoms, he or she cannot understand what exactly you have. The derma doctor wants to see the skin exactly. He wants to see the image. Now, what we have done, we have analyzed the image as well. The image analysis is one of the big part of the medical science. It's not only about the skin, but a lot of radiological data. You can analyze by applying the image analysis, by applying image classifications. Now, when I talk about the image classifications, now there are two kind of image classifications are there. One is that a machine learning based approach, and another one is that you have a structural similarity based approach. Structural similarity means I want to compare between a cat and dog. So I have one cat and then there is another dog.
Hello.
I want to find out the structural similarity between that. This is one model.
याच्यात कुठं
Second is that
कॉलेज
I have trained my model. I have shown the model that these are the 100 cat picture and these are the 100 dog picture. Now tell me which is cat and which is dog if I show a new picture. The second one is called the classification model. This classification model is nothing but called your deep learning network. In deep learning network, you are analyzing layer by layer, and that is why you are working with the convolutional neural network. So when you are using these concepts, then you have to apply some tools. Maybe you are applying Keras and TensorFlow, and then maybe you are applying PyTorch, and then you are trying to find out what exactly the classes is. At the same time, OpenCV is one of the very, very good tool when you are analyzing the images. So if you are very much familiar with the image analysis, then OpenCV is very common term and very easy to use as well. In Python or in R, you can use OpenCV. Also, somebody who is working with the C++ or C language, they also can use OpenCV. So what we are doing in the skincare exactly, we are taking the symptoms at the same time signs. What is signs? Sign is nothing but your picture. So what you are doing, you are uploading the picture into your mobile phone, and then in the back end, we have two different algorithms. One is that the deep learning based algorithm, which is saying that okay, you may have eczema. At the same time, when we are applying the OpenCV algorithm also saying it's eczema. So we are ensembling these two model, and then we are showing the result. So this is what you are doing. You are taking the result from the two different models. You are joining this result, and then you are showing the result. At the same time, in the app, there is a reward filter. There is a reward feature. So if you are not happy with the result, then you can say that I'm not happy. And then there is a slider from 0 to 100%. How much you are not happy, you can see. Or if you are happy, then how much you are happy, you can slide up, slide down like this. And that's nothing but your rewarding system. So these kind of things you can apply when you are working with the image analysis. I have already talked about the pipeline things, and the future is that we are going for the genome analysis. There will be take the sequence of the proteins, and from the different sequence, we will try to predict what could be the disease in future. For example, that right now I have taken the sequence, the genome sequence of Uday. Now we are trying to find out the different error happens in the gene. This can tell me that what sort of disease could occur after 10 years. I can tell timeline wise that after 5 years you may have this disease. After 10 years you may have this disease. So in future you would have something called genetic code, and then this code will tell you when would you have what kind of disease. And the second thing, the most important part, is a precision medicine. It's very, very important, and will be in future also apply this precision medicine technique. So if somebody has a fever, he is consuming the same paracetamol what I am consuming, but actually not. The capacity of taking the dose is different for every human. So the capacity of taking a dose for Tarun Datta and the capacity of taking the same drug for Uday would be different. But what is the difference? This difference will come from your gene. What is your genomic capacity? This genome capacity will tell you what should be the quantity of the particular drug. So this precision medicine would be a it will be a huge market in future. Already there are a lot of companies are working on that. One is that
काय
company
काय
I know, iCarbonics. They are working on the
काय
precision
सांगितलं
medicines.
सर काय
So
काय
and a lot of European companies, they are also working on this precision medicines. The Indian company, they are not they are not started yet on these particular things. But this will be our future. In future, you will not have a generic medicines. You will have very precise medicine, and that will be according to your body capacity. It will not be very generic. So these are the things that we are covering under deep genetics, and at the same time, I you have to analyze the text, and from the text you can come to a lot of things. For example, that EMR is nothing but the electronic medical records. So if you see a doctor prescription, doctor write a lot of things on the prescriptions, and these data are very useful. But as he is writing by his pen and paper, might be the data gets lost, and we are not able to use that one. Nowadays, some hospitals, they have started writing the prescriptions on their computer. But again, these writings, these text, again, we are not using sufficiently. But this text has a huge power. So in future, what will happen? You have to apply some OCR algorithm. OCR means optical character recognitions, and then you have to find out the text. From the text, you have to find out the summary, and from the summary, you can find out that what could be the possible chance of particular disease of a particular patient. So there is a huge possibility in the healthcare. You have to see the different data sources. You can go for you can see the EMR result. You can go for you can see the radiology results, and from the result, if you ensemble the results, and then you can, if you apply some machine learning technique or statistical techniques, you can do some sort of predictive modeling. So this is what this is the way you are improving the digital healthcare day by day. We are improving our model, and also we are trying to add on more features so that we can contribute a lot of things in the healthcare. But at the same time, we have to know a lot of knowledge on the healthcare and the medicines, because when you are going to diagnose a thyroid patient and a blood sugar patients, you will find a lot of diseases are coming, which are lot of symptoms are coming which are overlapping each other. So you have to find out the differentiations of the symptoms. That differentiation cannot do it. Your machine can do it, because your machine has learned a lot of things. So in machine learning for healthcare, the most important part is the data, and second part is that you have to apply the right algorithm to find out the right learning. And so that's all about what I wanted to talk about the digital health and AI in healthcare. Yeah, Professor Aditi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So
So,
ask me if you have
yes,
questions.
sir.
I know I'm quite fast and I'm quite discreet when I'm talking, because I understand the technology only. I'm not a good speaker like Uday. But if you have any questions on the technology stack, you can ask me. If you have any questions how to correlate with the healthcare and the technology, I can answer you. Anybody, if you have any questions, just ask me.
Yes, participants, if you have any question, so please ask the question. You can unmute yourself.
Hello, good morning, sir.
Hi, sir. Hi.
Sir, just I want to ask one thing: how we can ensure about the accuracy of some algorithms which for predicting some disease
Okay. Now this
as a
is
normal person?
okay. So this is very good question, by the way. First of all, to bring into a good accuracy, you should have sufficient amount of data. Now, what is the definition of the sufficient amount of data? There is no direct definition of it. You can have 10,000 data set, you can have 1 million data set, but I would say that if you have around at least 10,000 to 15,000 data set, you can say that you have sufficient data. And at the same time, when you are applying the algorithms, you have to see the variance of the data, you have to see various statistical descriptions of the data set, and then you apply your machine learning model. So when it comes to the accuracy, that what accuracy should be good, whether it's 75% or 90% or 50%, I would say whatever the result would come more than 70%, then you could call a good accuracy. But for the unseen data, for the future data, how do you know what is the accuracy? And how do you calculate the accuracy? In that case, you have to take random sample, and from the random sample, you have to find out what is the accuracy you are getting, and then not only the one sample, and then sample number one and sample number two might be you have taken two samples, and then you apply some statistical testing. Maybe you are doing some t-test. So by applying the t-test, you have to find out that whether these two samples are same or different. If it is same, then you find out that okay, what is the accuracy level you are getting in each samples. In this way, you can find out the accuracy of your unseen data. But at the same time, if you want to see the accuracy of the data, in that case, you know that how to calculate the accuracy. You have to go with the confusion matrix, and after applying the confusion matrix, you can find out what is the accuracy. But at the same time, I would say do not go with the sensitivity or specificity. If you understand this jargon in the confusion matrix, but you always go for the F1 score. F1 score is the average of this sensitivity and average of the recall and the precision. This why I'm talking about, because a lot of time you'll find the imbalance of the data set. Imbalance means that out of 100 data, you have certain data has huge classes, huge number of classes, another class of data has very less number of data. In that case, you have to go for the F1 score. But whatever the data you are getting, you have to make sure that at least you get more than 70% accuracy. Then it's good. For the test data, for the unseen data, take samples, and by taking the sample, calculate the accuracy of each sample and do some statistical testing. Maybe you can go for the t-test. If you want to go for the more than two samples, you can go for the ANOVA test, you can go for the MANOVA test, you can go for the Mancover test. There are different tests available in the statistics.
Sir, is there any well-known app available which gives the most accurate result right now? Any real-time application?
Now, every app will claim that they are giving good result. I will also claim, and then there is another app called WebMD. They will also call that they will give the accurate result. It depends upon the feature which you are giving. It depends upon the symptoms which you are providing. Sometimes the patient also does not know what are the symptoms. That's the problem. So the deep genius might be very accurate for you, but may not be accurate in WebMD. So there are another application called WebMD. If you test your symptoms in deep genius, might be you're getting very good accuracy. But when you're going to WebMD, you might not get the good accuracy. It does not mean that WebMD is bad. WebMD is also good, but depends upon how you have given the symptoms and what algorithms are matching with your pattern of giving the inputs. So there is no direct way, but you can use different application and see the result. There is another application called prognosis. You can also go to the prognosis, and then you can check that what is the result you are getting. So you can check multiple applications, and then you can conclude. For example, that when you go to a doctor, so you are getting one opinion from one doctor. Another, sometimes you feel that I should go another doctor for the second opinion. Sometimes you go to third doctor for the third opinion, and then if all doctors are saying that this is the same disease, then you think, okay, all doctors are correct. But if all doctors are giving different result, so for example, one of my colleague went to a doctor in Apollo, and then and that lady doctor called, you have lung infections. And then after some time he went to another doctor, to another hospital. They say you have bronchitis. And after some time he went to another doctor. It says you have pneumonia. Now three doctors have three different results, three different opinions. You don't know which is correct right now. So similar things, it can be happen for the applications. The three applications are giving different result. But if your input is correct, then most of the cases, all application will show you the correct result.
मी काही ना करताच कट झाले.
From the technology perspective, anybody wants to ask any question? Yeah, Aditi, please.
Yes, yes. Participant, any more questions from your side?
I was thinking to show something hands-on,
Okay.
but it's not possible to show in this class how to code, how to get the data, then how to write the machine learning model, how to deploy it. It's not possible, and because when you see the these practical things, you get more enjoyment, and then you like it. Let me see if I can show you the skin things.
I think Professor Jayant has raised hand. Professor Kalia, I think one of the
Yes,
professors
sir.
has raised hand. I think one of the professors has raised hand. I think Professor Jayant has raised hand.
याच्यात
Professor,
का?
Okay, so I'll check, sir. I'll check, sir. Just a minute.
म्हणजे तुम्हाला
Yes,
अनम्यूट करा म्हणताय
any
ना?
participant have any question? No, sir. I can't see any hand.
okay.
Yes,
I
Jayant
actually
sir.
I saw.
जयंत सर तुमचं नाव आलं.
Yeah.
सर माझ्या
Yes,
याच्यावर बोला ना
Professor
सर.
Jayant, do you
Sir,
have
इकडे
any
या.
question?
सर इथे विचारा तुमचं नाव घेताय ना.
Sir, maybe network issue.
Hello.
I don't know.
Tarun
Yes,
sir, I
yes,
want
yes,
one
sir.
question.
जमते का म्हटलं
Yeah,
घ्यायला
please,
लेक्चर.
sir.
Sir, actually, I want just a little bit
कारण मला
information
खूपच
regarding
प्रॉब्लेम होऊन राहिला. मलाच घ्यायचा आहे खरं तर, कारण आजच्या लेक्चरमध्ये माझा सिलेबस संपणार होता.
real time, how to get the real time and
तर आता
trend
सगळंच
data
काहीतरी वेगळंच
in
चालू आहे.
real world or real patients, sir.
पण तुला क्रिएट करावं लागेल ना.
You mean that how to train the model?
Yeah, no, sir. Actually, I want the little bit resources I want
चालेल.
required.
ओके. तुला
How to
अडचण
get
आहे का?
the
नाही तर
train
वैष्णव
or
मॅडमला
real
सांगते
time
मी.
data.
काय प्रॉब्लेम नाही असं.
Means any
Okay.
link.
You mean that how to get the real data?
Yes.
Is the most difficult things in the world to get the healthcare real data. And that's the thing that deep genius did not start. I mean, it's not start in 2020. It started in 2019. We have collected a lot of data from the doctors. So it's difficult. But as you have asked, I should provide some links where you can get some sort of real-time data.
Yes.
Have you heard about UCI?
Yes, sir. I got the data for UCI depository.
Yeah. So from the UCI machine learning repository, you can find there are some doctors, they upload the data, and you can work with your model. But when you're going for, let me show you something. It's very interesting. When we are working with the skin images, we had started by, let me share you the screen. So when I have started this working the skin image, we had nearly 70, 80 images, and we had around 10 different diseases. Now we have almost more than 2,000 images, and that we got from the user. So when you are working with this is skin data, you should have a lot of skin images, and you can find out that these are the different diseases. We have just coded it. Maybe some of the disease name is eczema, something is some names might be the acne, like this. We have just decoded as a number here. So you'll find that these folders, it contains a lot of images. Here you'll find very less amount of image, but in our production it has more than 2000 images we have for the skin data, and 2000 skin image means huge. It's a huge repository. It's not possible for any doctor to have 2000 skin image. Now if I go to any of the disease, you will find we have loaded the images by different body parts: back, chest, face, genitals, hands, legs, stomach. And then if I click here, you'll find that we have different images here. Now what we are doing, we are trying to find out the classes. We are trying to find out the different class. For example, this is the 10180 disease. And then if I go to another disease, so if I go to this particular disease 10158, it has a different name. Again, these pictures, it's a little bit weird, but don't take it otherwise. I'll show you how the structural similarity that works. Let it come. Now this is one of the skin problem image, right? And let me show you. Now this is different type of image. So what we do, we try to find the structural similarity between the two images. So when you are doing the structural similarity, you are getting some result, and by the time you are collecting more images. But in real world, you will not find the images by yourself. You will not find the data by yourself. You have to collaborate with the doctor. Doctor will give the images. Doctor will give the data to you. So we have doctors in our team. They provide the data to us. Now I will show you the process here, how the skin image analysis done. If you look, this is our app dashboard. So where you will find different symptoms. The top 10 symptoms are mentioned here. At the same time, you will find that skin problem. Can you find skin problem here?
Yes, sir.
Then it goes to the another page, which asks whether it is for yourself or whether it's for others. If it's for others, then it asks further question like what is your age, then your blood group, and other biological data. Then it shows you animated image. You have to select the body part where you have the problem exactly. If you have problem with the hand, you have to select it. If you have problem with the leg, you have to select it. You have problem with the face, you have to select it. So if you select the problem area, for example, that I have selected the leg here, a leg. And as soon as you select the particular area, then you have to give the symptoms. So I have shown the signs. Now I am going to ask the symptoms. So there are symptoms mentioned here: burning sensation, darkening of skin, dry skin. What are the symptoms you feel here? You have to check the box. You have to click it. So once we provided the symptom, at the same time we have provided the body part location, then it asks to upload the skin image. You have to upload the skin image here. If you upload the skin image here, then after that it analyzes. It does the structural similarity, at the same time classification of the images, and then it says that you have eczema, or you have maybe acne, or maybe you have something else. And what is the chance that you have? That also here, that maybe 85% is possibility that you have eczema. it also shows a chance,
192.160.
right? So this is the way actually we take the data from the user, and then we come to
ते
the
HTTP
result.
client वगैरह काय नाही झालं का?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm Dr. Vinayak Kottawar here.
Hi, hi,
Just
hi.
wanted to,
Yeah.
yes, actually, I was attending one meeting and I joined a little late for the session. But just I wanted to share and I wanted to, discuss about one of the initiative I just recently browsed about, and that is Jiva Ayurveda. So it's a similar, kind of app where, Ayurvedic uh, way of treating and Ayurvedic way of diagnosing they are using and further preventive methods basically they are suggesting through it. So can you throw some light on technological part that these kind of technologies are using? In fact, nowadays we can observe that more and more people are cautious and aware about the immunity part, building immunity and all products are coming in the market which are related to immunity. So it is nowadays trending and something which is very demanding part in the market as such. And Ayurveda is playing very important role in that. So can you throw some light on case studies which are there in the market who are working and on what basically the fundamentals and foundation on which basically they are working.
Yeah.
Particularly, rightly said by Jain sir and few more faculties as well that while working in the healthcare area, the most important challenge is to get the real-time data. And in fact, when we are dealing with healthcare, so that data is more confidential, very sensitive, and it is very difficult to get from doctors as well. And that's why
Yeah.
there comes the problem of accuracy as such. And at the same time, when it is related to healthcare, it is more sensitive, and validation of that data is also very important after getting right prediction as such.
Yeah. Right. Right.
So there are very few companies those who are very boldly, putting their step ahead in this market. Most
Yeah.
of the research I could see in the I could see in the papers and research papers and some articles, but very few companies are taking the step ahead boldly to get into it and give some accurate data
सर
related to it.
मला लिंक द्यायला
So
प्रॉब्लेम
Yeah.
can
Right.
you
नाहीये
throw some
कारण
light
मला
on
ना
different
सकाळी
case
लाईट
studies
इंटरनेट
which
नव्हतं
are
ना
currently there in the
तर
market and what
हॅलो
basically they are doing role
मला
in
लिंक
the
द्यायला प्रॉब्लेम
area
नाहीये
of healthcare?
प्रॉब्लेम कुठे होता माहिती
Okay,
का
sure.
ते
So
माझ्या
the
लॅपटॉपवर
first
सपोज
question which you were
आता
talking about the immunity.
रेकॉर्डिंग नाहीये
Now there are a lot
की
of
स्विच
applications
केलं
are
स्क्रीन
coming
किती
to
रेकॉर्ड होते
check the immunity. Now let me tell you one thing. Immunity cannot. I mean, immunity is something which build up
अच्छा
to
अच्छा
7-8 years of your age. You cannot increase immunity
ओके
at the age of 40, or you cannot increase immunity at the age of 20. It's not possible. Whatever immunity
एकदा
happens,
तिथे
that
प्रोड्युसर आलेला
done
विचारतो ना त्याला
within
लिंक
the age
त्यांनी
limit
दिली
of
असेल
7 years or 8 years. Just 1 minute. Just 1 minute.
बरं पाहते मी. कारण काय होते ना मग मला ते व्हॉट्सअपचं नंबर लागते माझ्या मोबाईल डेटावर चालू
Actually, since
असते
last 2 nights, I did
सगळं
I
पाहते
did not
सगळं
get time to
एक्झिक्युट
sleep. Actually, yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm
Uh,
not, I'm not
चालेल
surprised, sir.
yeah,
You must be coding whole night. That's how he is, Dr. Vinayak. And
no, I was traveling at the same time yesterday, so I did not have chance to sleep.
go
Yeah,
ahead,
yeah.
sir.
Yeah. So now the thing is that how to check the immunity, that what is the level of the immunity. Immunity is something which comes from the nutrition and different vitamins, different minerals. In this application, we have also tried to integrate some feature to check the immunity. I will ask some questions, and on the base of that, you will give some answer, and then I can find out what is the level of vitamin D, what is the level of the vitamin B. Now, always remember, immunity things are highly correlated with the vitamins, highly correlated with the hormones. All your immunity highly correlated with the chemical things what you have inside the body. Directly, right now in the market, you don't have any such case studies which can find out that what is the immunity level. But what you can do when you talk to a doctor, you can take certain components like vitamins wise, vitamin wise the immunity standards. So for vitamin B12, what could be the B12 deficiency? What could be the result. For vitamin D, what could be the for lack of vitamin D, what could be the problem? For lack of vitamin E, what could be the problem? So you can note down like this all vitamins, and then what are the problems you have because of lack of those vitamins. This is one. Second one is that you can go for the minerals. A lack of sodium, what could create the problem? Lack of magnesium, what could create problem? Lack of potassium, what could create problem? So you have to combine those things, and then you can design such model which can predict that what could be the problem. So initially, you may have very less amount of data because you will not find this data from the doctors. But what you can do, you can study little, and after that you can make your own data set, and then you can get the data from the market. Maybe you can do some sort of campaign, and then from the campaign you are getting the data. In this way you can collect the data, and then you can predict some of the things.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Let me ask you, Uday sir. Whenever we are dealing with the healthcare domain, so rightly said by Tarun sir that it is very challenging to get the data, and there should be certain strategy and approach in which we can collect the data related to medical background in healthcare. Sir, can you just throw some light on like what strategies or what ideas we can use so that we can give something to the stakeholder? Like suppose if we are getting data from the doctor, then our application should give something to the doctor, some benefit to the doctor. Then only we can get something from them as well. So different
Absolutely.
stakeholders are involved in it. So can you just throw light on certain interesting case studies which are there in the market?
Sure.
Like they're using certain strategies to get the data from the doctor. At the same time, they're taking help of them for validating their data as well. Because nobody will give and give something without the benefit as such. So all the stakeholders are involved in it. So any such a interesting case study, sir? Do you want to share with us?
Absolutely, Dr. Vinayak. I think very interesting point that you raised, and that's where I strongly believe in collaboration and co-creation. Collaboration and co-creation. Co-creation word. I mean, for the first time, Professor is no more now. Professor is no more now. Uh, from the C.K. Prahlad, he talked about co-creation. Uh, as we were talking about, and while I was discussing, I was talking about like there has to be a win-win situation for all the constituents, those who are involved. And as you said, that a lot of data we are going to take from doctor. What is in there for doctor? Now you have to identify a doctor who also believes in collaboration, because when you are working on a particular solution, your results, how can you share those results with doctor, or while collaborating with that doctor, what is the interest of that doctor also feels that by giving his data, and when you analyze that particular data, the results that are coming out, if it is going to help the doctor as well. Here in our case, as Tarun mentioned, that we have a doctor on board, and when we have a doctor on board, he's this particular doctor is also contributing in terms of writing articles, and he now this doctor is not a technology savvy person. What you're bringing on table is technology, and what doctor is bringing on table, that his understanding of medicine. Now this particular doctor that who's on board, he's not a technology savvy person, but Tarun knows technology in and out. Tarun has the advantage of knowing good amount of medical science, and how it works. So here you have to collaborate with doctor and get the information. And when you get the information from the doctor, what is the interest of the doctor? The interest of the doctor is A, whatever your results are, the doctor is going to get educated. B, the doctor is also interested in more number of patients or expanding the practice. Or a doctor who can be on various advisory panels of the pharma companies. Now that's where the co-creation of value comes in, because the doctor may find, or doctor may gain from your knowledge of technology. If Dr. Vinay Kotavar is head of computer engineering lab, and if you share with doctor that what all possibly you can do for him using technology, a doctor will be more than willing to contribute, what the doctor is having, the information the doctor is having. Of course, you can sign the non-disclosure agreements so that and look at all the legal aspects so that legally you are covered and non-disclosure agreements are signed. So here in our case, when it comes to DeepGenX, Tarun alone is a fantastic professional. Uday alone can do certain things. The doctor on advisory board can do certain things. The other co-founder can do certain things. But together, when we are 5 or 6 of us as the stakeholders, and when we collaborate, and we doctor is his network, and also when a pharmaceutical company, when we look at approaching a market, pharmaceutical companies who are into immunity building or they have a products for immunity building, those pharmaceutical companies are very much interested in collaborating with DeepGenX or DeepGenX lab, because the pharmaceutical company would look at 50,000 users as their prospective customers. So as I said, everything has to work together and create a value or co-create a value. Now when we say co-creating a value, it's what is that Dr. Vinayak is bringing on table, what is that Uday is bringing on table, what is that Tarun is bringing on table, and together, if you are able to co-create, you can alone create value, no doubt about it. Tarun alone can create value, no doubt about it. I can create value alone, no doubt about it. Together, when we co-create, we are getting a lot of data, we are getting a lot of information, we are faster, we are collaborating. So in real sense, a value is getting created. And here is a classic example of having one of the doctors on board. Doctor is benefiting. We use network also for generating data. At the same time, doctor is getting a lot of insights into the technology and a possibility in future what is happening. Because a lot of things when we talk about genome sequencing or our DeepGenX tool, in the next phase, we'll go for a predictive tool for genome sequencing or mapping. When the results comes, this doctor starts thinking that, hey, technology can play this kind of important role. And when the discussions are happening, he's learning every day. So it's like I said in the beginning, in the classroom also, when I'm interacting with the student, I keep telling them that you are 30 of you. Every day, if you spend 1 hour, you will have 30 hours and I will have only 24 hours. So with students, if I collaborate and if I interact, I think we are having a greater learning. And this is a learning from each other. So I think, Dr. Vinayak, there, a little bit of time spent with doctors that you feel that can collaborate or open to the idea, and what you bring on table, what doctors bringing on table would really work. I think this is a time of collaboration and not working in isolation.
Yeah, adding to Uday, actually, it's not very easy task to bring all these stakeholders into the same boat, because it needs time to build the trust. It's not very easy. A hospital will not easily trust on a technocrat. Now they each other, and it's not very easy. There are a lot of data available in the market. I'm telling you, not market exactly, but these stakeholders, they have a lot of data. A hospital, they carry a lot of data, but this hospital, they don't post the data in the outer world. They will not do anything with the data. They cannot do anything with the data without the help of the technology guy. They cannot do anything with the data, but still they will not give the data easily. So building the trust and then bringing into the same boat, that is big challenge, and that's why you will find a very less number of startups are there in the medical domain. It's very captive, it's like a prison. It's very much doctor oriented, very less technology oriented. But yes, one day will come that the technology and doctor, they will have equity in this healthcare domain. It is not right now. It's more about to the doctor dominant area. I'm not belittling doctor, or I'm not telling anything about the medical providers. But technology is also essential things. But right now, the data is very much captive, not easily coming out from the particular providers. This will take some time, and once this data will come, then it will be much easier for the people to build a lot of new things.
Exactly. Very true, sir, and I really
नाही ते
appreciate
आता
for a
मला
very
मध्ये
elaborative
डिस्कनेक्ट नाही करता
answer
येतं
with
कारण
a lot
माझ्या
of
याला
examples
हे
in your
लागते.
the case studies, particularly what you have done for your product as well. That also you
हो
have
सर.
said, and rightly said by both of
कोणत्या
you, sir.
सरांना?
Like even
हा.
from few months when we were
काय दिवस सांगणार आहे तर मग ते करतो म्हणते.
exploring certain opportunities in dealing with this kind of problem
तुम्हाला
segment
हार्डवेअरला बोलतोय.
in
येतो म्हणताय मॅडम.
case of psychosomatic
ओके.
diseases basically. So we all know that the psychosomatic diseases, stress related diseases are increasing day by day, and it is even proven that most of the
सरांना
healthcare
देता
diseases
का
that we
बोलवता का
found
काहीतरी म्हणे.
somewhere it is related to our mind and the mental state of a person basically. So when we were dealing with different stakeholders which are associated with it, some of them are doctors, some of them are counselors, and we found that because of the sensitivity of that particular data, even if technology can contribute in that particular sector very well, but due to sensitivity and confidentiality of that information which is related to that patient, it is extremely difficult to get any kind of data related to that. But if we could get it, then definitely for anybody, those who are working in the technological field, and they will get definitely benefited with it. Even rightly said by Uday sir, when we collaborate together, when we give something on a table, and everybody, if they come together to do something, then that definitely increase the value of it. In fact, this particular session and this workshop is a good example where resource person from industry are collaborating with the educational institute, and we have our own potentials, our own merits, and you people are having a lot of intellectual and uh, having a lot of information and knowledge, in fact a hands-on experience of your field, and we are working together, we are collaborating together, and that's why it is a beneficial situation for both of us. And hopefully we'll get the similar kind of scenario for healthcare sector as well, where we could contribute well in both way, and we can do some wonders together. Thank you so much, Tarun sir and Uday sir, for a very elaborative answer, sir. Let
Dr. Vinayak,
me.
just wanted to add here. I'm sorry to
Yes,
interrupt you.
yes, yes, yes.
But because you did mention about psychosomatic and you did mention about stress related thing,
Right.
a possible solution. I don't know if that is a solution which is going to work. A possible solution that I see over here is there is an NGO that works in Pune. This NGO is for suicide prevention, and and the suicide prevention is something which is not discussed and which is extremely important. Now it is out of some kind of stress, or when it goes to an extreme level, a person decides to take this particular step. Now this particular
हो हो.
NGO has done a lot of learning. They have a lot of learning, and there is a process. Uh, I was I was shocked when I was interacting. I was shocked in the sense like I did not have that kind of learning. I did not have that
काय
kind of
म्हणताय
knowledge
मॅडम
when I was
मुलांचे
interacting with
प्रेझेंटेशन
their chief executive officer,
मुलांचे
and
प्रेझेंटेशन
when she
राहतात.
said that if a person
त्यांना मिनी
is
प्रोजेक्ट
suicide, then the person would look for help,
तेव्हापासून झालं नाही ते.
and there are many ways where a help can be provided. But you see, the problem is that when the person is looking for help, we put a blockage, we put a barrier in front of the person. In the sense, when the person decide and person gives enough hints. Now there is a lot of study that has been done, and why I said that I was shocked with the kind of information that she shared with me, because I was not aware of, and that is about being aware. Being aware. So she said that the moment you will say that, hey, the way you are talking, I hope you're not going to end your life, right? I hope you're not going to commit suicide, right? And says that's a big barrier, because suddenly by saying this, the person you have turned that person away from you. Now I never knew, while just discussing, many people speak that way. Coming back to your question here, Dr. Vinayak, is that this NGO in Pune, if you try and collaborate, are definitely interacting with a lot of doctors. The only thing, as Tarun very rightly said, is that this is a sensitive data. If Uday is a patient of that particular doctor, Uday would not want to reveal his identity, and therefore the doctor will not give you data because it's very sensitive data. But as examiners, we check the copies, and you don't know that you are checking Uday's copy because you have labeled it and you have completely taken my identity away while checking that copy. Something like that mechanism, by using technology, if it can be done, that you don't know my name, you only know my age, you only know certain statistics that are important for you to know, but you'll never come to know that this is Uday. And like that, if doctor or if that NGO is convinced and some kind of NDA is signed that this information will not be revealed, or this information will not be whatever, I mean, everybody is having a fear, the loss of data, and at the same time there are legal implications. So if all legal implications are taken care, it's a little long shot, but I think an NGO would also want to get these insights that what you're working on, because at the end of the day, their objective and the cause for which they are working, and your objective and the cause for which you're working, if the end goal is the similar, you're treating on different paths. So doctor at one end, NGO at one end, at technology for your computer lab at one end. Possibly three of these, different, set of companies or identities coming together, keeping the identity of the patient, intact without divulging, there could be a possible collaboration, because at the end, all are going to benefit. An NGO is going to benefit, a doctor is going to benefit, and when you are building certain products or services in psychosomatic area, you are going to benefit, they are going to benefit, everybody is going to benefit. There is a possibility there, and I believe in exploring such kind of possibilities, because you will be surprised yourself when you feel that nobody will collaborate. The third person that you did not contact was ready for a collaboration.
Right.
Yeah. You will find that now a lot of hospitals, they are building their rehabilitation centers nowadays. And it's very much necessary. Why? Even after the pregnancy of a woman, they also they also need some rehabilitations to come in the same stage where they were. So for every kind of, long-term health things, people need these rehabilitations. So in future, this psychosomatic rehabilitation will be very, very crucial market.
Yes, very true.
Sorry, Dr. Vinayak, you were saying something and I did interrupt, because I never.
No, actually.
Sorry about that.
Yes, no. It was very informative, and thank you so much for a very elaborative answer. And let us move to Aditya madam. If there is any question from participants, please interact.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Any participants, any more questions from your side, you can ask.
You can type it in chat box as well if you wish.
Yes. I don't think so, sir. Any participant is there?
Yes, Aditya madam, please go ahead with the schedule.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Tarun Datta sir and Uday sir, for sharing such a valuable information. It was a very interactive and informative session. We are looking forward for such amazing collaboration with you in future. Once again, thank you so much, sir. Now moving on, I request Mrs. Pallavi Gase madam, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Engineering, DYPCOE, to conclude the session. Over to you, Pallavi ma'am. Yes, Pallavi ma'am.
Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I would like to thank Mr. Uday sir and Mr. Tarun sir for enlightening and encouraging us to reach high in most demanding area, artificial intelligence and market opportunities in healthcare. I would like to thank Mr. Uday Surkarkar sir for such a wonderful session on innovative ideas and market opportunities in healthcare. Sir has explained very nicely there should be idea which is going to solve some problem. Need to have a proper roadmap approach according to the market. Sir has explained the MVP approach, that is minimal viable product. So don't try to make a Taj Mahal, but have to take the idea at a ground level or small level and start growing gradually for it. And we can also generate the revenue from it. Sir has explained it very good example for the Uber and Ola. Thank you, sir. Sir has also explained the DeepGenix app here, by which we have to give some input in terms of symptoms, and that app will predict the disease with the severity of 90% accuracy. Then I would like to thank Mr. Tarun sir for guided us on artificial intelligence in healthcare. Sir has started why we are learning artificial intelligence and digital intelligence for healthcare. The main motive is to reduce the mortality. Sir has explained or focused basic on the data. Data plays very important role in case of machine learning and artificial intelligence. So machine learning learns from the past and artificial intelligence learns from the future. So in both the cases, data is very important. So data can be structured data, unstructured data. So depending on the experience of handling or learning with the data and the variance, we have to decide which type of data models we have to use for classification and that. So there are different types of algorithms sir has elaborated, like logistic learning, regression, then random forest, convolution neural network, then ensemble learning. So this type of algorithms we can use in machine learning. So in case of deep learning analysis, image analysis is very important in deep learning analysis. So in that we can use convolution neural network, different tools like TensorFlow, OpenCV, and there are different types of NoSQL databases that we can use, like MongoDB, SQL Server, graph database, like this. So in case of programming languages, there are Python and R programming. So sir suggested to use mostly the Python because most of the APIs and libraries are available freely in Python. Then sir explained the approach about the DeepGenix. So in that we have to give some inputs like biological history, family history, then symptoms, then lifestyle. So using that, the app can predict the disease which we face after 10 years. So thank you very much, both Tarun sir and Uday sir, for your valuable guidance. Thank you so much, sir. Over to Aditi madam.
Yes, thank you, Pallavi ma'am, for insights of
Yes.
the entire session. So now I'm here to propose a vote of thanks. First and foremost, I would like to thank our Honorable Chairman Satesh D. Patil sir for supporting us to conduct such events. I would like to thank our Honorable Director Colonel S.K. Joshi sir for motivating and guiding us to organize such events. I extend my heartfelt thanks to Mr. Uday Zorkar sir and Mr. Tarun Datta sir for gracing this occasion with their presence and for sharing such a valuable knowledge information with us, which will definitely help us to enhance our skills. A big thanks to our beloved principal sir, Dr. Vijayam Badai sir, for the words of encouragement. Sir, we are in honor to have you with us. My heartfelt thanks to respected Vice Principal Dr. P. Malti Madam for your guidance and supporting all our efforts. I would like to thank our HOD Dr. Vinayak Kottawar sir for his support and guidance he has extended to all of us. I would like to thank Mrs. Shantaguru Madam and Mrs. Neelam Patil Ma'am, Chief Coordinator of the program, for their guidance and support. I extend my heartfelt thanks to organizing team member for their efforts to make this event successful. A big thanks to all their participants for active participation and being with us. Thank you all. As we come to the closure of day 2 morning session, see you all in post 1 session. It will start sharp at 1:50 p.m. Thank you all. Thank you Uday sir and Tarun sir once again. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.